Hello and welcome to the Third and Life podcast. And what a week it's been in the NFL. There have been trades galore. I mean, what was it? It must have been about 2 hours after you guys finished the podcast last
Oh,
week
I
before
have
the first
no idea.
massive trade happened this week.
It's been happening literally. I think the NFL's gone into overdrive in the past, 2 weeks? 16 days, 9 Pro Bowlers traded for 36 Pro Bowl appearances. It's insane. It really is insane how mad the NFL's gone this off season. I mean, I absolutely love it, mind you. I won't
Yeah,
deny that at all, but it's not. It's been mental.
it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, everyone. Get involved with the comments along. Give us a follow on our socials: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever else you can find us on. Give our wonderful presenters a follow as well. We're all on there as well, somewhere along the line. Um, what do you think of the trades? I mean, Raiders, you've broken your bank. Green Bay, you've broken your bank. Chiefs, how do you feel about losing your number one? Dolphins, how do you feel about receiving probably the quickest player in the NFL,
I mean,
and that doesn't even include the quarterbacks.
he's not the quickest player in the NFL because he lost that race.
The race he wasn't even really trying.
Yeah, he had a bad start and then gave up. But I mean, yeah, there's been the quarterback carousel. I mean, I might need to start christening the wide receiver carousel at this point.
I think we're going to give every position. The O linemen have been absolutely mental as well. Well, every O lineman I think has been going to bloody Cincy over the past 2 weeks.
Oh no, there's definitely been a couple going to the Jets too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'll get to it. I mean, it's a long, it's a lot of work to get, or a lot of stuff to get through this week. It's been
Yeah, I
mad.
know it's going to be a long show in it,
Hopefully, our
and
host will join us if
and
he finishes.
hopefully Tom's not here this week.
Well, he said he might join us if he gets his assignment written, which
Yeah,
is
I
going to be
don't
in,
have.
which is going to be in about 3.5 hours apparently.
Yeah, I don't hold up much hope for that.
Oh,
You know those you've got to proofread them.
yeah, I suppose. Shall we get to it?
Yeah, I mean, if we don't start, we're never going to finish. So.
Shall we start with the one that broke about within 2 hours after us going off air, which is
And good
typical
evening,
NFL.
Buzz. Actually, Buzz, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. I'm not sure if you remember that bet we had about the Steelers making the playoffs. And I'm not sure if now you know that Mitchell Trubisky is going to be your starting quarterback, if you wanted to change that.
I'm not even thinking the Pats will bloody make the playoffs at this rate.
Morning, Stuart, but it's 8 in the evening. 8:30 in the evening.
Clocks haven't gone forward that much yet, Stu. That's Saturday, mate.
Yeah, there we go. Stuart means evening.
Davante Adams. That
I mean,
has made.
Muzz, I'm happy to double down if you want and double it. It's all going to charity.
We've been 4 minutes in the show and we've already got our first bet of the night going on. As we know, Ollie's done very well at the bets.
Yeah,
Especially Cheltenham.
I did pretty well at Cheltenham.
Unlike me. Davante Adams going to the Raiders for first and second round pick. That makes, I would say, now Tyreek Hill's gone to the Dolphins, probably the best one to punch in the AFC West.
Yeah. And hopefully they've gone to your nice division, haven't they? I mean, Davante Adams.
Do you want to say that again, mate?
Not Davante Adams. Tyreek Hill's gone to your division.
Yeah, cheers for that. Cheers for that, Chiefs. Could have kept him out of the conference, let alone the bloody division.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I said that, I said, please keep him in the AFC.
Davante Adams, Hunter Renfro, and Weller for Derek Carr for Waller to throw that ball to.
Joe Weller hasn't signed for Raiders unless I've missed something.
Very funny. The tight end.
Yeah, it's Waller.
And then you've got Jacob Jones as well in the backfield. That is a very
Josh
Josh Jones.
Jacobs.
I'm gonna have a drink. I'm gonna put my teeth back in, and then we'll start again. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is a
and
very frightening
hope
offense now, isn't it?
and hopefully none of them will commit penalties this year.
Well, they seem to have a couple of Patriots in the ex-Patriot head office and ex-Patriots head coach. Hopefully, they're going to for Las Vegas. They're going to bring in some Billerisms, shall we say, from New England and straighten that organisation out because it needs it. I mean, especially after the last 18 months, that organisation's had a torrid time, hasn't it? Well, a year more than
Yeah,
anything else.
and
I
I
do
mean,
like that pick. Do like that trade.
apart from Adams, I noticed there's been a lot of Super Bowl players and Super Bowl winners moving around.
Very much so. Like I said at the top of the show, you've got 9 Pro Bowlers with 36 selections moved in the last 16 days.
Yeah.
Mad.
Apparently, it's the most since 1994.
Mad. What makes me laugh? I mean, Stuart's comment here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
shall we answer this question? What's going on
So,
at Lambeau?
Aaron Rodgers has taken all the money.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers said he didn't want to be part of the rebuild. He's lost his wide receiver 1, his wide receiver 2, and he's lost their main defensive tackle, or no, the offensive linebacker to
here's
their
here's my
division, to their divisional rival.
here's my thinking on this. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers doesn't trust many receivers,
No.
and I think the likelihood of him trusting a rookie coming in is very low.
Have they still got Cooper Cup? No. Randall
Lazard, I
Cup.
think.
Randall
Yeah,
Cup.
I think they still do have Randall Cobb. But I mean, he's a bit young now.
And
Old, I
again,
mean.
being Packers fans, I haven't asked my cousin because he's currently underwater being a Packers fan, so I can't actually ask how bad their feeling is at the moment being a Packers fan.
But
Otherwise, I would.
but I just think at the moment they have Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard as the only 2 wide receivers I can think of on the Packers.
And everything's going to go through Aaron Jones. So thank
Yeah,
God I'm going to be using him as my keeper this year. Don't care if I'm
yeah.
losing the number 2 pick overall. I'm keeping Aaron Jones.
I've got to. I actually traded for him after in this off season earlier this season, which I'm very happy about. I
Good
mean,
call.
I think Robert Tonyan's a good re-signing for the Packers.
Yeah, tight
But
end, isn't it?
yeah, but they need more.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, they've got the 22nd and the 30. No, I want to say the 31st pick,
Sorry,
but I
it's a
might be around that.
it's a 22nd and the 28th.
Oh yeah, I've got the draft thing in front of me. Why don't I just look at that?
I mean, I was looking at my mock draft for next week, and I haven't taken a wide receiver 22.
Yeah, I could see them take a wide receiver, possibly even 2 wide receivers. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I've
wide,
got them taking.
wide receivers a very good position this year.
I've got them taking a
Draft.
tackle too, because I mean, Rodgers needs some protection.
Nah, it's Karen. He'll be fine.
As much as I'd love to see him getting sacked more than Joe Burrow did this season, I
So,
think they need to protect him a bit.
Kansas City TikTok have got a new TikTok creator on their offense.
I'm genuinely scared we're going to get a Juju Smith-Schuster, Jackson Mahomes collab, which the world does not need.
Oh well, it's ridiculous. I mean, so this came through possibly the day before the Tyreek Hill, or maybe 2 days before the Tyreek Hill. Well,
As Stuart's just said, everyone they have.
Lazard, Amari. Oh no, Amari, do they?
No, Amari Cooper. They have
No,
someone whose
Amari
last name.
Cooper's in Cleveland.
Yeah, they have someone whose last name was Amari.
Okay. So,
Tonyan, Jones, and Dylan. Yeah.
but I wouldn't class any of those as a WR1.
Yeah. Yeah. Lazard's at best is a WR3 probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amari Rodgers. There we go. Cobb's, as I said, is a bit old. Tonyan's an okay tight end, and Jones and Dylan are both good running backs.
Very,
So,
very,
I
very
mean,
good. That's a good one.
early fantasy advice. Let's get AJ to get Aaron Jones in your teams.
I've already got him in my team because he's in my keeper league and I'm keeping him. I was going to drop him, but now that Green Bay have decided to get rid of all their wide receivers, I'm going to bring him in.
Right,
Um,
as Jack's watching, I thought I'd put this comment from John up. The NFC
yes,
North is the Vikings to take.
I second that. And if you watch Mike, I can't remember his surname. I absolutely hate the bloke because he
Mike
slates
Mayoko.
slates the Patriots every time he opens his mouth.
Is
He's
that the guy off
actually,
the herd that you put
yeah,
on? Yeah.
he's actually got
J-
them to take.
just
He's got
quickly.
addictions taking it.
Yeah, there we go, Jack. I was going to ask Jack this question. As you can see in this profile picture in the in the little corner is from San Francisco, which I took myself.
Nice.
Yes. And he is,
Golden
of
Gate.
course, a Vikings fan, and he is happy because
Oh yes.
because I mean, the one thing is though, Aaron Rodgers can create magic.
He can. He is a very talented, very skillful player, despite all the diva attitudes about him. And I don't blame him for taking all that money. He's in his, he's literally in the end of his career. So taking 50 million nearly a year is not. Don't blame him. But he said he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild, and he's put that team in part of a rebuild.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Matt LaFleur's head is.
Well, it's not really Matt LaFleur, is it? It's
Yeah.
Vikings. Oh, I wish Tom was on this show tonight.
I mean, what we're 12 minutes in and we've already had a Karen Rodgers and the Vikings.
Shall we move on to Chiefs?
Yes.
Juju is obviously, because I don't know if you guys watched Tom Pedicero this morning. He said he knew about this trade going down at the weekend. He knew the contract talks were stalled at the weekend. Juju was signed at the weekend. Do you reckon he was signed because they knew Tyreek Hill was allowed to leave and he would be traded?
No, I don't. I actually think that the news that broke about 20 minutes ago that I don't think is on this news thing. I thought I'd added it, but it doesn't look like I have. Of Marquez van der Scantling going to the Chiefs is as a result of Hill leaving.
Yeah,
I think this Juju deal was done anyway because they are lacking a WR2 because they had Hill, but like I feel like we've been waiting for McCall Hardman to make a step up for
and
about 4
Pringle.
years.
And Pringle.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
I
we're
agree
waiting
with
for
that one.
both of them to make a step and kick on for about 5 years.
But they've now lost their WR1 and they've signed two
Oh,
WR2.
there we go. Chiefs signed Marcus Van der Scan. Yeah, but
Yeah,
as you said to me before the podcast starts, Kelsey is pretty much their WR1.
yeah, most
I
definitely.
mean, he's not a blocking tight end, is he?
He can do it like Kissel does, but not as effective as Kissel and Samfan. He does do it. I mean, I will quietly say this: Kittle's probably the most all-round tight end they've got in the league.
Yeah.
He can block, he can run, he can catch. He is big and he's strong. Kelsey is a beast of a tight end.
I've always said I think Kittle's the best tight end in the league,
Yep,
but I think Kelsey's a better pass receiver.
most definitely. I completely 100 agree with that
And
one.
it wouldn't surprise me if Kelsey doesn't do much blocking at all next year.
No, I mean, I think they still
I
need
mean,
to work on that O line though. It still needs a little
yeah,
bit of tweaking. I think a little bit on that one.
Mahomes needs a safety valve,
Yes,
and
most
Kelsey
definitely.
can be that.
Talk about O lines. Bengals have shored up their O line with another offensive lineman, the offensive tackle Lale Collins. I think who's come in from the Cowboys.
Yeah,
That's another.
I think the Cowboys did him a bit dirty there because they cut him
I've lost
so
Ollie again.
late.
His Wi-Fi is a bit dodgy tonight.
Yeah, sorry, we've just got this new Wi-Fi that's was only installed yesterday, so it's still getting used to it. But yeah, Lyle Collins, I feel like it was a bit harsh about how late the Cowboys actually cut him.
Yeah, he's a very good player, a very good offensive tackle.
But
He's
he did
very
have
good
about
in the run game as well.
he did have about 1 million penalties in that Niners game though.
Yeah, that is true. Cut that out of him, you'll be all right. it shows that Bengals don't believe they needed much else. They just need, because all the players they've signed in the off season are apart from their own players are O linemen. So it just
I'm
shows
su-
that they.
I'm surprised they didn't go and get Azoma back, to be honest.
I think he went up to New York before because of a certain TV presenter that you said about
Oh
on the
yes,
group chat.
yes, Ollie. I recall you. Yeah, for those of you that hadn't seen, reportedly CJ Azoma is dating Good Morning Football's own Kay Adams, which
Yeah, who
Ollie
does
is
live in
very
New York?
sad about.
Not that sad about. I got my own lady. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
Thank you very
It-
much.
it- yeah. Kelly, I hope you're watching.
Kelly is watching because she's on the train back from Edinburgh as we speak. I can't wait to see it because it's been a long ass week. Won't lie on that bit. Patriots re-signing Trent Brown, so that's another O lineman back in New England.
Playoff Lenny's back at the Bucks.
Playoff lane is back at the Bucks. That is actually quite big. I'm just waiting for them to go saying, "Yeah, we've brought back Gronk now." You know, that's the
Well,
next one, isn't it?
did you see that video of Gronk in the barber shop?
No.
They were like, "Will you be back at the Bucks?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." But Brady made me sweat for a couple of months, so I'm going to make him sweat for a couple of months.
I
It wouldn't be
love
surprised
it.
me if Gronk has told Arians, "I'm coming back, but I don't want to do training camp, so I'm just going to sign in July." That really wouldn't
Um,
if so. It really wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens.
no, to be fair, yeah, July, get back in July. Oh, thank you very much. That's all good and done. Or um, the big news that broke what 24 hours ago, 48, 36 hours ago. Yeah. Hi, Kelly. Mr. Cheetah Tariq Hill in Miami.
Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I mean, Wilson isn't slow. Mostert, Chase Edmonds. That's a quick ass offense.
The only issue is now is the man who's running that offense, the man who's in the huddle. The man who's got the rock, who's making these plays. It is bust time now. They've given the keys to the Ferrari to Kate, to quote Carl this morning on Good Morning. They've given the keys to the keys to the Ferrari. Now can he drive it? So if he can't outdrive it, his ass is on that hot seat now.
Yeah, will he turn out like Charles Leclerc, or will he turn out like Nikita Mazepin?
I got a feeling they will be moving on from Tour next season because they have got an offense now that can challenge the Bills.
I mean, I can see a Mike McDaniel's, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Reunion.
Yes.
But the thing is, though, Jimmy Garoppolo has the lowest long pass attempts in the league, according to Good Morning Football this morning. 6.2, and Tua was next at 7.1. Are they gonna want one of these wide receivers now who can throw it long? This is what's coming into the league now. This is what it is. It's this quick, explosive league where wide quarterbacks can hit the ball 70, 80 yards. A Malik Willis type play. And I think Malik Willis is a step up, but he's not quite there to be
I
an
mean,
NFL
you
starter
went in on Malik Willis a couple of weeks ago.
yet. He is a step up on Tua, but he's not an NFL starter. I'm
So you
not.
so you so you don't think Tua's an NFL starter?
No.
Do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's an NFL starter?
Yes. How often does Jimmy turn the ball over? How often does
A lot.
Jimmy drives you and gets you into the playoffs? Jimmy, it might not be Jimmy. It could be the offense, but Jimmy is that wise head. He knows when to throw the ball. It's the same as a Tom Brady type thing as well.
Yeah, Jimmy's a quarterback that doesn't usually lose you the game.
I
Yeah,
didn't either.
yeah, John. I don't think many people saw that happening.
That came from nowhere.
And it's like the trade happened really quickly too.
Yeah, because it was announced what 4 o'clock, and it went through about 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
If that, it was a very, very quick.
because you put something in the chat that like Tyreek Hill can seek a trade, and then 2 or 3 hours later it's done.
Oh, it's mad. And it was only the rumors was it was only Miami and New York Jets that came in for it. Miami are giving up 5 picks. So it's first, a second, and a fourth from this year,
Yes.
and a first from next year,
I
or
don't think it is a first. I don't think it is a first for
no, it's
next
a
year. I think it's a
fourth, and it's
fourth.
a fourth
It's a
and a
fourth and a
sixth.
sixth for next year.
Those 3 picks for this year have given the Chiefs 12 picks.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, I think it was funny that both of Shanahan's disciples were the ones that were going after Tyreek Hill after he burned us in the 2019 Super Bowl with that bloody wasp play that they were replaying on Good Morning Football this morning. And you
What
can still
makes
see Bosa getting held massively on that play. Not that I'm bitter about that. Not that I'm bitter about that Super Bowl loss.
What makes it interesting though, New York didn't give a first round pick up. I don't get. They've got 2 first round picks. Yes, a 10 and a 7. They haven't given a first round pick. Why wouldn't you not give a first round pick who will change the game for you? Will win the game for you? Will break coverage? His speed. We saw him against the Bills, who are a fairly good defense. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Tore them to shreds in that. Even in like the overtime, they couldn't
Yeah.
touch
Oh,
him.
that game. That was
Yeah,
still an amazing game.
it's probably the game of the year.
I think it's undoubtedly the game of the year. And
That's
and
something we're going to do in a couple of weeks. We're going to do our top 5 games of the year,
it
aren't we?
beat the game. It beat the game of the year, which was the game before.
Yeah. We will do our games of the year. What, probably week after next, because next week it is mock
Mock
draft
draft again.
2.0.
Now, Ollie, I know this isn't. It's not on the news, but what are your thoughts on the Patriots re-signing a certain Malcolm Butler?
He was going to be my jersey, and then he decided to leave. I'm over the absolute moon. I'm just going to jump on this because I've just seen this from Muzz. But is he really worth top 10 of picks? Yes.
Do you think you can get a better wide receiver in the top 10? I don't think you can.
No.
And yes, we will.
I think Mahomes will just be as good. Mahomes is magic.
I think Mahomes is going to lean on Kelsey a lot more this season. So
Exactly.
fancy advice number 2 from the Third and Long podcast:
Take Kelsey.
pick up Kelsey.
I am
it's
over.
It's gonna be interesting if this makes any difference when I actually decide to set up the fantasy league again.
Everyone's going to be fighting for those players now.
Well,
Malcolm Butler back to New England.
What do you think about this, Ollie? This comment.
New York have a lot of talent in that team.
They also have a lot of holes, though.
A lot of young raw talent in that team. There is a likelihood that Hamilton could drop to them, and that will turn that defense around, no matter what. That's the side of the ball they need to concentrate on now. But if Tyreek Hill's there, who's arguably a top 5 receiver in this league, you go and grab him. It doesn't matter if you get right. They got 2 top 10. They got top 10 pick twice. They got 7 and 10. I think it's 7 and 10 off the top of my head.
Yes, there's 7. No, I think they have 4, don't they? They have 4. It's 4 and 10.
Okay, so you can give them 10, and you could still get a top 5 player in this league, a top 5 in this draft. Not crying loud, Aiden Hutchinson could still drop to 5 yet.
4.
I would, have our number 10 pick.
Yeah, I'd definitely take Tyreek
But
Hill.
we want your, they could have swapped first round picks around if they really wanted to keep a first round pick. But yeah. Going back to your original question, Malcolm Butler, I am over the moon for heart over head matter that he's come back to New England, winning Super Bowl 49 against Seattle. When no one could still believe why they didn't hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch and they decided to throw it instead, but that's for Pete Carroll to go tell us. Head-wise, surely he's just going to be there for cover. Yes, okay, we've lost J.C. Jackson. Jonathan Jones will step up. We are going to take a couple of cornerbacks in this league who will be ahead of him, but I'm sure he's just going to be there to cover, a bit like a Josh Norman did for you boys down in San Fran, I think.
Yeah.
personally.
But then again, Josh Norman did end up starting a load of games.
Yes. Um, Massive blow for David Ojabeo. Torn
Yeah,
Achilles ligaments.
that's him out of the first round.
Yeah,
And
I've
have you seen that tweet of like nobody actually caring and just them just like picking up the ball?
I haven't seen that tweet if I'm honest.
So, David Ojeo goes down.
Welcome from Montreal.
Bonjour, Mathieu.
Bonjour, yes.
Um, and instead of actually checking if Ojibeo is okay, um, the scout just goes and picks up the ball. It's like, who's next?
Is this shows that pro days aren't really an effective way because you're not challenged. I think senior bowls and those kind of bowls are much more a better environment because you see a full on hustle and bustle of a game. You can actually see what players do. You can see the proper route running. Yes, okay, you get to show the quarterback's arm talent, how far they can throw. Like Carl said this morning, you sit on the goal line, throw 87 yards, and you get whoa, but you miss two short or 26 in a row short, inward slants, and doesn't matter because you've hit that 87-yard long pass.
Yeah, like the only thing I remember from a pro day last year is that Zach Wilson bomb. What was it?
Yeah,
80 odd yards.
yeah, that was a hell of off the ground as well. That was a great throw. That's what these pro days are for. But like I said during the combine, they're not really challenged.
No.
I could stand. Well, I couldn't because I've got the arm strength for an 87-yard ball, but I could stand there and throw and make passes
Yeah.
unchallenged. Have a big 320-yard bloke man or someone Aaron Donald who's 270, literally pure muscle running at me. I'm not going to make them throws. It's a completely different environment.
Yeah.
Like the Sugar Bowl, the Senior Bowl, Northeast Bowl, or
Rose,
West
Rose,
Bowl.
Rose Bowl, Orange Bowl.
Yeah,
I
these
mean, Steel
championship
Bowl.
bowls are much better to
There's
show
something
them off.
crazy like over 20 bowls.
Yeah, and that's better for the players because they are going to show the skill.
Cotton Bowl was a big one this year.
Yep, and the East West because Matt Crowell went down injured in that one. That was a big one. So
Yeah.
having his pro day was needed today because obviously, or yesterday, sorry, because obviously he didn't able to participate in the combine through to injury. Shall we go to the other craziness of the week that's been going on, which started with up in Cleveland?
The QB carousel is still running, still spinning.
Right.
And just before we go into this, what do you think Deshaun Watson signing for the Browns is going to do to the fan base?
It's split it. From what I've seen on social, it has split it
Because
quite a bit.
Mark Sexton was very vocal about this on the podcast that he is no longer a Browns fan because of Deshaun Watson.
You are getting a lot of people like that. I mean, you've had over here in Scotland, there's a lot of people have left, stopped supporting one team because of they signed a convicted rapist, I think it was. You are going to get...
Here we go. Muzz is saying that he'd have been happy to sign Mayfield if they hadn't have signed Mr. Trubisky. We'll get to that. But
that net is closing for Baker now, isn't it?
yeah.
So, skill-wise, if he hadn't missed last season, those 5 picks, I wouldn't have given... Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, most definitely. There, he's worth those 5 picks. He's missed a year's worth of football. You don't know what conditions he's in. If he's led the team 6-7-0 through the middle of October, you're going to say, yeah, that's a really good 5 picks. Brilliantly. Fair play. Hands off. Hats off and all that,
Yeah.
It's the 230 million guaranteed, which has baffled me because he could be suspended by the NFL yet.
Oh, I think he will for at least 6 games, potentially 8, maybe even 10. So I think we will see week 1 this year. Jacoby Brissett, starting quarterback for the Browns.
Or do they keep Baker in case that goes? I know Baker wants to leave.
I don't think they'll keep Baker. I think Jacoby Brissett is a good enough backup.
Yeah, Oh, Jacoby Brissett's a great quarterback. I'm high on Jacoby Brissett. I put him on my free agency team over Jameis Winston. Yes, it's that slight Patriots love for him, but
I
I
was
have
about to, I
seen.
was about to say Patriots.
But the 2 games he started for New England when Brady had was like suspended for the NFL. He was a very, very good quarterback.
And just looking at the comments, John, I agree with Muzz on here. So John said Baker to Miami. Muzz said, I think they'll stick with Turf for 1 more year, and I agree with that.
I think 2 more years. Like I said a bit earlier on, they've given him the keys to this Ferrari now. If he can't drive it, or he crashes it, or they don't make the playoffs, you could see Tua getting bumped down. They will. There's a lot of good quarterbacks coming into next year's draft. There's going to be a few good quarterbacks out there as well again next year.
Yeah, I mean, looking at next year's draft, there's what CJ Stroud.
Yep, from Alabama.
No, 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 he's from Ohio State.
You got
It's
the
Bryce
Bama.
Young that's from
That's
Alabama.
it. His
DJ
Heisman Trophy.
DJ Opetangle, or whatever his name is, from
Yeah,
Clemson.
and the lad from Florida State as well, who's meant to
Yeah.
be very, very good. It's I really don't get why they've gone right. There's 230 odd million for a player who could be suspended this season. It's I can if he wasn't suspended, I'd go. That's still a bit too much, but I understand it. But the fact he's been suspended,
Well, he's not been
or
suspended yet.
possibly looking at possibly suspension is.
And I did actually see something earlier that said that there may be another court case.
Oh, I've not seen this one.
I see. I think NFL Rumors tweeted it earlier. I'll see if I can find the tweets.
Fair enough. What makes it interesting though now? Obviously, we've got all these trades going on. Let's go on. A lot of teams are going the LA Rams style of offense. Right, let's get trusted and traded players. We've not even talked about Von Miller going to the Bills.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That's massive now.
Just a bit of breaking news.
Yep.
The Eagles have re-signed pass rusher Derek Barnett to a 2-year deal per Adam Schefter.
That's not too bad. Do you think the Browns instantly become contenders with Watson? No. Purely the fact he's been out for a season and we don't know what's going. I mean, that is a toxic offense as it is, or toxic change room in there as it is anyway. Look what they did last year. You don't know if it's because it's Baker or anything else, but oh yeah, Kenny's just messaged me this about the Deshaun Watson grand jury considering another criminal charge against Browns. Yeah, second grand jury in Texas with Evans. Ooh, okay, so yeah, that's fair enough. Thank you, Kelly, for that one. Good answer. That's coming from a Steelers fan, typical. Yeah, the other shock one was okay. Matt Stafford's now signing for the LA Rams, re-signed a new 3-year deal. That's good.
Yes.
He took them to our Super Bowl. He's driven them to the Super Bowl. He is a gunslinger.
He won the Super Bowl.
He won the Super Bowl for them. Just shows what Detroit could have had if they'd have built around him. But
I mean, you want to keep that Matt Stafford Cooper Cup connection going, don't you?
Oh God, all day long. I mean, could we see Odell come back as well?
I don't think so. I think they made it pretty clear that who did they sign? They signed Allen Robinson. They traded Robert Woods. They're happy with Van Jefferson at 3, and I don't think Odell will get signed until he's fit again.
He still might come back here. This was.
I believe the 230 million is guaranteed. Yes.
No, it is guaranteed. It is. That is it. He is getting that no matter what. He could be suspended for a year and he could still get himself 53 million. Matt Ryan leaving the Falcons after 14 years.
Now, the thing that I'm not sure if do you know how much dead cap the Falcons have this year?
I know Matt Ryan's given them 47 million dead cap over the next 2 years.
Their dead cap for this season, $62 million.
For those people who don't know what they mean by dead cap, would you like to explain it?
So dead cap is, so there's a salary cap, Sorry, can we just talk about Matthew Bowditch's comment? Um, but and so
Dead
there's
cap is
salary
people
cap.
who've left it before their contract is up and they've traded them away, and it's basically
It's money that can't be used,
yeah,
basically.
easiest way to put it.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought when I saw that comment.
um, yeah, it's sad. I mean, it really is because he is still a good quarterback. But he's part of a rebuild, and obviously they don't want to have that be a part of that rebuild. So I've just seen Matty's comment. I've got to put this up. Dead cap is champion. Love it. Yeah, he's took them to a Super Bowl. Yes, they've lost a lot of weapons in that offense, but they are starting on a rebuild. They've got a very good tight end who I still can't believe I missed that one-handed catch at White Hart Lane, but I did. But never mind.
Where were you in the queue for the bar, wasn't it?
I was in the queue for the bar, and they didn't have the blooming tellies running in there at all, so you couldn't see any of the game, which was really stupid. Unlike
Yeah,
Wembley.
because I was sat with you, wasn't I? And you missed the best player of the game.
Yeah, I have seen it. Have watched the highlights of the game, and it is a hell of a catch. Haven't seen it? Go and watch it. One-handed
But
extended.
I had the same thing in 2019. I missed the flea flicker Cooper Cup thing.
Still a great play. So what surprises me, they've let him go only for a third-round pick. It's saved $7 million, but
So
they've lost.
they said today they were doing right by Matt and letting him go where he wants.
Well, it is. I have heard that. I didn't realize they said he wanted to go there. I didn't understand that. Because he's a Philly player. He was Philly originally, isn't he? He's a Philly bloke.
Is he?
So yeah, he's a Philly guy. He's got his number 2 jersey because obviously Carson Wentz gone at Commanders,
And I
which is
mean, we're
which
gonna
I
see
think is
Matt.
a good move for them.
We're gonna see Matt Ryan hand it off to Jonathan Taylor hundreds of times a game.
Have they still got T.Y. Hilton down in Indy? Silly not having tellies in the bar. More silly leaving.
At least,
Yeah, I did, John.
at least no plastic cups are being thrown at that game.
Yeah, that's very true. Cheers for that, John. I was thirsty. Okay.
I can confirm he came back with a Coke.
I can. Yes. I started to drive at that later on that day anyway, so I couldn't be drinking. I still would have tried and eat that a second out of Indy. You know, they've got.
Maybe they could have done what they did with the whole third second if he plays more than 70% of snaps or something, like they did with Carson Wentz last year.
Yeah,
with
but
the
it's this
second
year.
third.
It's this year's draft. It's got for.
Yeah, I guess.
They wouldn't be able to do that. That's the thing. And then within 2 hours of him being traded, they signed Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, I was thinking, great, we've got some leverage. Jimmy might go to the Falcons, and then they
And then
say
you would have thought Baker could have gone there. So
yeah,
now,
well, for
where
me,
is
there's still Carolina and Seattle left, and there's still Baker and Jimmy. So I
and
reckon
possibly
Baker.
Texans. See,
I reckon,
I've got down like possibly teams needing quarterback: Panthers, Seahawks, Lions, possibly Texans. I've now scribbled out Saints, Falcons, and Colts. Obviously Jimmy and Baker
Ollie,
are still out there now.
you've had another shot fired at you here.
John, go home. Wait till the end of the show, but go home.
I don't. I think the Texans. I think Lovie Smith is going to roll with Davis Mills.
Yeah, I think he would. I mean, Davis Mills, he looked good. The last 5 games of the season, he looked really good. To be fair, he stepped
Yes.
up a game.
Apart from the game against the Niners, he wasn't that good then.
No. Obviously, Saints have now gone back to James Winston, which I think is brilliant for them. Brilliant for James Winston as well. He deserved a second chance at that.
Yes, he was.
You know,
he was playing okay last season.
and he was looking.
However, I think he'll struggle without Sean Payton.
I don't think they will.
I'm not saying them as a team will. I'm saying him as a quarterback will. I mean,
still got the same quarterback coach in there though.
I think Sean Payton is a sort of team, is the sort of coach that I give a team 2 more wins a season for.
You've been watching Home Team, haven't you, on
I've
Netflix?
not actually seen Home Team. I've not got around to watching it yet.
Kelly, have you watched Home Team yet? You said you downloaded it to watch on the train. Just wondering if you watched it yet. I forgot to ask.
I will watch it, but I've not yet.
It is a good film, to be fair. I've enjoyed it a couple of times. I've watched it. It's a really good film. I've enjoyed it. Nice,
Yeah.
easy. The kids have watched it as well. Even the kids enjoy it, so it's a good film. So where do we think Baker is going to go? Do we think
That's all.
Jimmy's? Yeah. Is Jimmy going to leave Niners?
I think if he doesn't, we'll cut him.
Yeah, but that means you're going to have cap space, dead cap, if you cut him, aren't you?
7.5 million.
Who's going to be your backup quarterback? Because are you going to want that?
We've signed Nate. We've signed Nate Sudfield.
Like, I'm going to rephrase that question. Who's going to be your good backup? Is Carl Shannon fully sold on Trey Lance enough to go, right, we're going to cut this quarterback who's taken us to the NFC Championship 3 times or twice in the last 3 years, taken us to a Super Bowl. John agrees with you. Seattle as well.
No, Kelly. At least wait for the podcast to end.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Come on. You've got another 50 minutes on the train. It'll be fine.
I do think Kyle's all in on Trey.
I would have that veteran starter quarterback as your backup if you're going to go all in on Trey, because
I would
you're going to
agree
have
with
that player.
I would agree with that, but think about what we could do with 25 million free cap.
Yeah, but not only that, he can't throw for another 13 weeks, something like that. He can't throw for. Who's going to trade for him? Who's going to take him? Even if he's cut, no one's going to want to take him. I would just hold on to him that year and just go, right, okay.
The thing that I think we might do is hold on to him and then get some value if someone goes down.
Yeah, possibly. It's this league where someone is going to go down. Probably two will probably go down at the end of, by week 3. Or Miami realise, oh God, we need a quarterback. That would probably be the best bet for him, wouldn't it? I agree. I think Jimmy was going to. I think Jimmy's going to stay. I
don't think he will, but I think that's the best way we're going to get any value for him now.
Yeah, he will stay there now, and go from there. And you might even get more capital for it if he stays.
I mean, John Lynch is walking around claiming he's got 2 second-round picks offered for him in hand. I'm like, every Niners fan screaming, take it at him.
Who's that from then? Carolina?
He didn't. I think it's from John Lynch's ass personally, but according to Pro Football Talk.
Yeah, it's really it's interesting. I mean, there's still 2 big key players there. There's 3 teams that need quarterbacks. Where do these 2 big players go?
I think the Lions are going to stick with Jared Goff. I think they know what they are. Sorry if any Lions fans are watching.
Jared Goff is that another bridge quarterback. He's going to take them so far, like he did with LA Rams. And then they're going to find out a quarterback can take them to the next level. I think it's going to be another one of them.
I mean, I've got them taking Malik Willis at 32 in a mock draft, but we'll see.
I've gone to Riddler. I'm agreeing with DJ. I'm possibly not going to put Malik Willis in my pre-draft.
I mean, Malik Willis caused a lot of controversy over our first mock drafts.
Oh, a Arizona court breaking news. Arizona County, Texas grand jury declines to induct Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson on criminal charges following allegations of sexual misconduct. It has been declined. That doesn't mean he's going to end up in. Doesn't mean he's not going to end up in prison, but it doesn't mean the NFL aren't going to go right. You've put the league in dispute now. You're still going to get into shit for this, no matter what. Oh, I've made it nearly 45 minutes without swearing. Whoops. And any Wells fans, Bell's just made it 2-0, by the way.
Just changing the ball, the shape of the ball for a second.
Yeah,
Not
it's gone a bit
not
flatter.
not the fact. It's not like we've not gone on to traditional soccer football before,
No.
but you know.
Shall we have a look at Mr. Jermaine Johnson,
Yes.
who looks a stud for the Florida State?
Nick Bosa. I know we complain every defensive end we've seen this year to Nick Bosa, but this guy
Is generally DJ has said in the combine that this bloke is more like Nick Bosa than anyone else come out of this league. He is the more pro-ready defensive end coming out of this league. Lindy Sports Pro Football have got him 7th. They think he's going to go in the first round. I'm putting him in my first round because I think this bloke is an absolute stud.
He's in my first round because I mean my mock draft will definitely change by the time it gets onto the podcast next week.
Oh, most definitely.
But currently, he's in my first round.
I'm going to show this video first from the Senior Bowl, bit of the drills they do pre-game. Watch him destroy an offensive tackle. That bloke's 320 pounds, and he just pushed him over like his bloody rag doll.
Is this the guy that was on Last Chance U?
Yes, this is the guy on Last Chance U. He's season 4. He's on Last Chance U. Worth a watch. Very strong. He's gone through Indy College, so he's a very, very ready. I'm going to show you some game footage, and I got a bit of combine footage to show as well. If we show his game footage now, some little things I've robbed off Twitter as per usual.
Take a look here at Jermaine Johnson on the right side of your screen, up against Michael Shaddix. Just bull rushes him, converts speed to power, drives him right back into the quarterback, forces Eric.
Ball, Zarek Cooper. Straight ahead. Jackson tried to bounce it outside and ends up in the loving arms of Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson wears number 11.
Under the boundary,
Florida,
3 to the top. Cooper wants to throw, eludes the first, won't get away from Jermaine Johnson. I think Jermaine Johnson.
Boy.
Yep. Gamecocks with 5 of 9 in the first half. Here's a quick toss trying to get to the near side, and Jermaine Johnson shows you the open field athleticism. Roddy, he can give it to you off the edge, and that time he tracks down the running. Under 9 to play now. Cooper sacked. Wow. Jermaine Johnson was the first guy, and then Akeem Dent arrived.
You're going to see Jermaine Johnson on the left side. Inside move. There was nothing. Zarek Cooper.
Washington State, by the way, into this program. Here's Cooper trying to find room, and there's Jermaine Johnson again.
It's like being an airhead with that chant.
Hey?
You know the
Yeah, I know.
Like being an airhead.
Yeah, you can't see it when we got the main video, and we could see each other underneath, and you can see Ollie just doing that. It's brilliant. I mean, the only thing that's not on there is his spin move. His spin move is very, very deceptive and very, very good.
John does make a good point.
That's very true. I can't help it. That came from more from one. I robbed that from one person off Twitter. But that is what he is. He is deciphered. It's a very, very good spin move as well. Some of his combine, his speed is very quick. He's a 460 runner.
Florida State's Jermaine Johnson.
He's been training with his former teammate Trayvon Walker. Let's see what he does.
4.58.
That's scooting.
Okay.
You talk about momentum. He has a great season. He dominates at the Senior Bowl, and then now he shows up here and rips off a 4.58 at 254 pounds. Mr. Jermaine Johnson. Actually, I'm seeing now they have track.
Yes,
I was going to say,
figured,
yeah. I was like, holy cow, he's been doing some shrugs, hasn't he? No, those are
I know I'm getting a lot of tweets about it too, as those are tracking. They're monitoring everything. Every movement, every heartbeat being monitored. Everything's a metric, as we know.
It's looking like Donovan Darius out there. Jermaine, don't lose sight of him in this edge rusher discussion.
Stacy?
Jermaine Johnson's my 11th overall player, and you just saw him roll out on the 40 here, so that shows you a little bit about that straight line speed, but we can go to the tape and show you he's one of the more polished, if not the most polished edge rushers in this class. He's got the production. You saw the hands there. His ability to flatten once he gets to the top of the rush. Get those heavy, strong hands to just uproot and jolt tackles. Creates the separation, and there's the finish. He goes to the Senior Bowl. They couldn't block him. Inside spin, that's a win. Little double hand swipe here. That's the Joey Bosa move that's paid for the retirement. And then here he is in a one-on-one at the end of a practice. That poor Darian Kennard, they gave him that much of a runway. It's nothing you can do. But here's the numbers. When you look at them side by side with Daniil Hunter, you see the testing numbers very similar. Both guys very long and very explosive.
His thing was putting his hand.
That is why he will go. Going back to John's comment, I don't think he's going to drop down to you, mate. I really don't. I will be surprised. I've got him going at 7 at the moment.
I have him going very low, and I'm going to bump him up after this.
He is brilliant.
Matty, the answer to that's Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance is going for that one. I could see this bloke going easily top 10. He's very highly rated. Very, very quick. I mean, I personally think he's better than Eden Hutchinson. Personally. Look at the two together. He's very explosive, very quick. He was quicker than the 40, I think, as well, actually.
The one issue I have with Aiden Hutchinson is the fact that he only showed these numbers in one season, whereas Jermaine Johnson's been more consistent.
Exactly, and he's had more already. He's come from a D2 as well to that Florida State. Florida State normally produce really good edge rushers anyway.
John, I know the feeling.
I would love him to drop to us. Looking at that, you never know, John. We're 21. Ain't gonna happen. I mean, most of the drafts seem to think we're going to go Devin Lloyd. I don't think. I think we need some weapons.
I have you taking Chris Olave at the moment.
I don't even think Olave's going to drop to us. I think
For some reason I've got Jermaine Johnson down at 29. I need to change that.
Yes. Shall we show the updated draft order, because it has changed again this week?
Have we updated it?
I've updated it this morning, yes. So Seahawks now go to 9 after their trade. New York Jets stay there as well. The interesting one, Texans go to 13. So from Browns. The Texans got 2 picks. If they really want that number 1 pick, they could even draft up as well. Raiders, you've given up your 22 pick. Sorry, John, for Devontae Adams, which, to be fair, is a fair pick to give away. I would have given up that one as well. 29 picks, the interesting one.
Chiefs from mine as well.
That's gone around the hills a few times.
Well, that's getting passed around like a bag of peanuts.
Oh, it's mad. Teams without picks. Bears.
Colts, I bet the guy that's picked at 29 is now going to be an absolute stud for the next 15 years.
Oh, wouldn't be surprised. I've got a speed wide receiver, the quickest wide receiver going there at the moment.
Who is the quickest? Sky Moore?
No, it wasn't. Oh, no, it's not Sky Moore. I've got the second quickest. Sorry, Christian Watson. I think Sky Moore will be... I think he might drop down. I don't think Sky Moore's hands are that good enough to be in a number 1 wide receiver. But
well, I mean, why don't the Patriots just take him? Why don't the Patriots just take him? They love wide receivers with no hands. Can Nikhil Harry?
Yeah, so he'll end up in New England then, won't he? It's been a hell of a week in the NFL yet again, and somehow we've managed to cover it all. I think. I don't think.
Let's just check. There's been no more breaking news.
It's been an eventful week. It's been a really good week, to be fair, the NFL fans. I mean...
Oh, Niners have just re-signed Kerry Hyder, for anyone that didn't know.
Oh, okay. We've
He had
had
a
probably
week here in Seattle, now he's back.
the maddest 16 days in the NFL. I mean, it started off with Russ on the 8th of August. No, the 8th of March. Going to Denver. And it hasn't stopped. I think there's been some kind of big trade or big signing happened pretty much
Every other day.
pretty much every other day. A friend of
So
mine who does another podcast, said, "Oh, the NFL, you've always got something to talk about the NFL," and he's pretty much right.
we're due another one. We're due another one tomorrow.
No, don't be stupid. It'll be in about half an hour when we say goodnight.
Oh yeah, good point.
It's always just after. And no,
There-
that doesn't mean we're going to stay on the podcast until there's breaking news.
There seems to
unless
be
you
a
keep
small
it
Niner.
delayed.
There seems to be a small Niner contingent that's saying trade Debo. So
Yeah, you said that on the group chat. What the one bloke said I wouldn't trade him, I'd release him. Has that bloke been hit round the head lately?
I will admit, he did. I think he was fishing there
Oh, I hate people who do that. Just
because he tweeted, "How long should I continue with this nonsense?"
Yeah, you would have to go. You've given it the house for Tariq Hill. You would have to give it the house and the bloody farm for the blooming Debo, because the season that Debo had last year shows he can do everything. You would not give up that.
Wide back, he called himself.
What made me interested in that Tariq Hill came to the league as a running back. I did not know that.
I think Tyreek Hill will turn into a Debo type person for Miami.
I think that's why they signed him, because I don't think Tua's got the arm to ping it 50, 60 yards like Patrick Mahomes has. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Justin Herbert are special talents with their arm strength.
Yeah, and I mean, two of them are in one division next year with Russell Wilson.
But Russell Wilson's no slouch, mind you, with his arm. He can still ping it.
I mean, Derek Carr isn't either.
I know that AFC West is going to be a hell of a division next year.
Every game is probably going to be prime time.
The best thing is
If
about
it's not prime time, it's going to be, you're going to want to watch it.
They're going to take games off each other.
Yeah,
no one's going to go that division 6-0.
I think the
Yeah,
Raiders might go 0-6, but
Sorry, John.
sorry, John,
that was
but
Ollie, not me.
I think you're the weakest
That
team
was
in
him,
that.
not me. I could see that division being won 10-7, something like that. It's not going to be a team blowing out each other. It's
Not like the Buccaneers are going to do next year.
oh no, the Buccaneers get blown out.
I'm sorry, they have Saints, Falcons, and
Oh
Carolina.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, they do have an easy division, I suppose, don't they?
The third and long podcast could win that division.
With our eyes closed and throwing left-handed, yeah. With Tom at quarterback.
We just have you playing the entire DBs.
No one wants to see that anymore. Not even me.
What you blow your knee out first game?
Oh, don't even be in training session. It won't even make the game, mate. It'll be in training session. The last 2 weeks, I've been sending Kelly memories saying, "Oh, this time 7 years ago I did this knee. This time 5 years ago I did this knee." March isn't a good time for my knees. Who do you reckon's going to be early prediction? Who do you reckon is going to be the shock team of the year?
What do you mean by shock team of the year?
Shock, worst, best. Is going to do a Bengals. Is going to be really poor.
I'm not going to answer that question, but I'm going to say a dark horse, Dolphins.
You see, I could see second place in the AFC East being really interesting.
Yes.
I don't think Tua's good enough for that offense.
But in terms of a shock team, I don't see the Bengals doing as well as they did this year.
It's traditional, it's normal that a team who loses in the Super Bowl doesn't do as well the next season. It's happened regularly. They'll win their division.
I don't think they
Sorry,
will.
sorry, Mers. I don't think.
I don't think the Bengals are going to win their division. I feel like people will suss out Jamar Chase.
Have you saying Jamar Chase? Have you seen the video of Singletary against Jamar Chase at LSU?
I've not no.
He shut him out in every training session. He shut out Jamar Chase.
So Ollie, who's your shock team of the year?
My shock team of the year is gonna be. I'm gonna say Steelers are gonna be being very quiet, but what they've done is very good business.
With Trubisky at quarterback?
With Trubisky at quarterback, I think Mike
Am I the
Tomlin.
only one that's seen Trubisky play here?
No, I've seen Trubisky play here. I think with Mike Tomlinson as head coach, who's better than
Who's Mike
McNaghy.
Tomlin? Who's Mike Tomlinson?
Mike Tomlin, very funny, as head coach at
Are you
Seattle.
actually gonna get a name right today?
Tyreek Hill, Patrick Mahomes. I think we've got a few right. Yeah, with Mike Tomlin as head coach, he's a better head coach than McNaghy, who Trubisky had in Chicago.
Yeah, well, anyone's a better coach than Matt Nagy, apart from maybe Adam Gase.
Yeah, that's true. And Joe Judge. Yay, we've got him as our offensive coordinator.
Who,
Yay.
Joe Judge or Matt Nagy?
No, Joe Judge. He's gone back to New England.
What? It's an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, QB coach, offensive coordinator. Apparently,
Wasn't he your special teams coordinator?
No. Apparently he's gone back on the offensive side of the ball, from what I was reading. That changes every week. I just think.
Tom's excuse for not turning up.
I'm not being part of that one. I think Steelers will be the dark horse of the AFC. Yes, that AFC is stacked. Absolutely stacked with so much talent. The Super Bowl will be an AFC. In fact, bold prediction: the NFC will win the Super Bowl this year.
What, the Rams?
The Rams have got the NFC. Okay, yes, we'll see the schedule come out in a couple of weeks. Well,
Hopefully.
2-3 weeks, I think. I think whoever has the hardest run in the NFC will win the Super Bowl.
The Niners have a really tough schedule this year.
Because the AFC, there's too much talent in there. You're going to have so many teams take each other out of the competition.
Yeah.
But the NFC have got, what, LA? NFC have got LA, Green Bay, Vikings.
Green Bay have gone.
You can't count them out. Not without. Well, actually, you can. Because they're possibly in the playoffs.
Here's who I've got that has a chance in the NFC.
Go on then.
Rams, Niners, Cardinals.
Yeah, I'll put that.
Vikings.
Yep.
Buccaneers.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's in the East? Cowboys? No. Nobody in the East.
Yeah, no one in the East. Well, Dallas. You could say Dallas, but yeah, I can't see them doing anything.
Yeah, well, they'll just run a quarterback draw with 14 seconds to go, won't they?
And yet, in the AFC, you've got
Bills,
all of the AFC West.
The whole AFC West.
Bills. You can't count out New England because of who Belichick is. You can't count out Miami because of what they've done.
The Jags have spent a lot, but I don't see them doing much.
Not a lot yet. No.
Indy and Tennessee.
Indy and Tennessee, possibly.
It's mad that the two best running backs are in the same division, isn't it?
Mad. Tennessee are always in the playoffs. I think this will be Tannehill's last saloon. Unless they get to the Super Bowl this year, this will be Tannehill's last saloon in Tennessee. AFC is stacked. The NFC isn't overly stacked. NFC will be my Super Bowl winners this year. I haven't decided which one, but the NFC will be my Super Bowl.
I hope it's the Niners.
Um,
Actually, me and Tom have both been quite vocal about this, but I don't think you have. How good do you think Trey Lance will be next season?
I don't think he'll take you to the playoffs.
Because me and Tom both said we reckon he's going to ball out next season.
The 2 games I saw him play last year, he looked a little like a deer in the headlights at times.
I do.
You know,
I
he's only had 2 games really and a few snaps. He's gonna hit what they call that rookie wall, even though he's had a season under his belt. I don't think he'll take you to the playoffs. He definitely won't win your division.
I think Trey Lance grew into both the games. He looked a lot better in the second half against Texans. I think he's going to ball out next season.
Anyone looks good against Texans last season, mind you, apart from us.
Mac Jones.
Apart from us and a couple other teams. No, Mac Jones was crap against the Bills. Twice.
Yeah, he wasn't great against the Texans.
He didn't throw any picks, I don't think.
I mean, I will admit I didn't see that game.
He didn't throw any picks, and he had a passer rating of 70 odd, so it wasn't too bad.
I was on a train on my way back to Cheltenham from one of the London games.
Yeah, I was driving, so I only saw the highlights back.
I think it was the second one.
Yeah, so I was driving back.
And I learned the hard way that the Octo box on Red Zone is pretty
on
much
a mobile phone. It's too
pretty
hard.
much impossible to see on a mobile phone.
You're like that, aren't you?
I was like magnifying glass out.
You need one of those stands that sits there in front of it that magnifies it.
Yeah. Me and the guy sat next to me are both trying to watch Red Zone on my phone.
I had that on the coach as well. Me and the guy next to us both watching Red Zone on our phones. I was like, how are you getting on?
No, we were watching on the same phone.
Oh my god. Octobox is hard enough on a 48-inch screen that I've got over there, let alone bloody on a 4.8 inch or 8.4 inch. Mr. Hope, we've padded out as much as we can to hope for some more breaking news, but nothing's happened.
Yeah, and Tom didn't jump on like he said he might.
Yeah, standard. That's my only diss for Tom. Apart from me trying to play quarterback, which I'd love to actually see. Mr. Hope, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this again with you tonight.
Always a pleasure with you, Mr. Butler Henson.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in. Even the gentleman from Canada, bonjour. Thank you very much. That's limited my French, I'm afraid.
I believe bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Or was it bonsoir? One of the two. And ladies and gentlemen, we will see you 8:30 next Thursday with
all the mock drafts.
Our mock draft. So looking forward to seeing your reaction to that one. Ladies and gentlemen, stay safe.